Hello friends, welcome to my channel, My Job Preparation. Today we'll be discussing about few important questions related to Active Directory which comes in most of the interview. May it be like kind of IT support, technical support, L2, L3 it could be. So these are the most common questions asked in Active Directory related or server related questions, server related interviews. Okay, let's start. So the very first question, what do you understand by the term Active Directory? The term Active Directory specifies an index structure or metadata used in Microsoft Windows based servers and computers to stock up data and information about domains and networks. Active Directory is like a database that stores data such as user information, computer information, and other network object information. It is capable of managing and administers the complete network. Next question. What is a domain? A domain is a set of network resources for a group of users. The users need only to log into the domain to access the resources which may be located in different servers in the network. The domain specifies a system address that may provide you a lot of information. A domain address might look something like 211.170.469.01. The concept of the domain was introduced in Windows NT, where a user may grant access to several computer resources using a single username and password combination. What is the default protocol used in directory services? The non-payment default protocol used in directory services is LDAP. Here LDAP stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. LDAP means Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. What is the difference between domain, local, global, and universal groups? Domain local groups have a scope that extends to the local domain and are used to assign permissions to local resources. The difference between domain local and global groups is that user accounts, global groups, and universal groups from any domain can be added to a domain logical group. However, because of its limited scope, members can only be assigned permissions within the domain in which this group is created. What is the sysvol folder? Why is it used? The sysvol folder is used to store the server's copy of the domain's public files and delivers the policy and login scripts to domain members. It replicates all the group policies from one domain to other domain controllers in a particular domain. Can a user create a new universal user group? The universal groups are allowed only in a native mode. Windows Server 2003 environments. It requires promoting all domain controllers to Windows Server 2003 Active Directory to create a new universal user group. What do you understand by The term forest in AD. The term forest describes an assembly of activatory domains that split a separate schema for the activatory. All domain controllers in the forest share this schema and are replicated in a hierarchical way among them. What is the difference between enterprise admin group and domain admin group in Active Directory? Following is the list of a difference between enterprise admin group and domain admin group in Active Directory. Enterprise admin group. The members of the enterprise admin group have complete control of all domains in the forest. By default, the enterprise admin group belongs to the administrators group on all domain controllers in the forest. This group has complete control of the forest, so the users should be added with caution. Domain admin group. The domain the members of the domain admin group have complete control of the domain. By default, the domain admin group is a member of the administrators group on all domain controllers, workstations, and member servers when linked to the domain. This group has full control in the domain, so the users should be added with caution. What is ARP? What do you understand by ARP cache poisoning? ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It is a protocol used for mapping an Internet Protocol address to a physical machine address that is recognized in the local network. ARP cache poisoning is a process where a table, usually called the ARP cache, is used to maintain a correlation between its MAC address and its corresponding IP address. ARP provides the protocol rules for making this correlation and providing address conversion in both directions. What do you understand by Kerberos? The Kerberos is a verification protocol used for a network. It is built to provide secure verification for client applications by using secret key cryptography. What is LSTOU? LSTOU is a group policy inheritance model where the policies are applied to local machines, sites, domains, and organizational units. That is why it is called LSTOU. What is Active Directory Schema? Active Directory Schema is the blueprint of an Active Directory network. All the objects created in an Active Directory network reference the Active Directory Schema for its object type. What are the different components of Active Directory Schema? Three main components are used to make an AD schema: objects, classes, and attributes. Objects. Objects are the entities that Active Directory uses to store information about the resources in its network. In Active Directory, objects are used as references to the resources in the network. For example, if a computer belongs to the Active Directory network, there would be a computer object that will represent this computer in real life. The computer object will also store some information about the computer, such as operating system, running status, etc. Classes. In an Active Directory schema, attributes are grouped and categorized into object classes. Object classes are therefore hierarchical classifications of object definitions. There are three types of classes in an Active Directory schema: abstract class, structural class, auxiliary class. Attributes. Attributes are the entities that are used to store information about the objects in the Active Directory environment. For example, a user object can have attributes such as their first name, last name, telephone number, address, and other attributes that store data about the user. Some attributes also store information about other attributes than the object itself. There are several types of attributes, such as linked attributes, indexed attributes, and global attributes. What are the newly added features in Active Directory of Windows Server 2012? Following is a list of newly added features in Active Directory of Windows Server 2012. DC Promo, Enhanced Administrative Center, Recycle Bin, Goes GUI, Fine Grained Password Policies, Windows PowerShell History Viewer. DC Promo with the improved widget. Domain Controller Promoter. DC Promo means Domain Controller Promoter. Domain Controller Promoter with the improved widget. It facilitates users to view all the steps and review the detailed results during the installation process. Enhanced Administrative Center. In the newer version of Windows 2012, the Administrative Center is well designed compared to the earlier version of the Active Directory. The Exchange Management Console is well designed. Recycle Bin Goes GUI. The Windows Server 12 provides so many ways to enable the Active Directory to recycle bin through the graphic user interface in the Active Directory Administrative Center, which was not possible in the earlier versions. Fine-grained password policies (FGPP). Implementing fine-grained password policies is much easier in Windows Server 12 than in the earlier versions. It also facilitates us to create difficult password policies in the same domain. Windows PowerShell History Viewer. It also provides Windows PowerShell commands related to the actions executed in the Active Directory Administrative Center user interface. What system state data contains? The system state data contains the following things: a registry, state of files, system files, a registration database, memory page file, AD information, sysvol folder, cluster surface information, etc. What are the main components of Active Directory? There are mainly two components of Active Directory: physical structures, logical structure. In physical structure, it contains the domain controller and sites. In logical structure, it contains the trees, forest, domains and OU. What do you understand by Thomson lifetime? The Thomson lifetime is used to determine how long a deleted object is retained in the active directory. The deleted objects in the active directory are stored in a special object called Thomson. By default, Windows uses a 60-day Thomson lifetime if time is not set in the forest configuration. What do you understand by a child DC or CDC? CDC or child DC stands for Child Domain Controller. It is a subdomain controller under the root domain controller, which is used to share a namespace. What is the full form of APIPA? Why is it used? APIPA stands for Automatic Private IP Addressing. It is a prominent feature of Windows 98, 98 SE, ME, and 2000. It is used to automatically assign an Internet Protocol address to a computer on which it is installed. What do you understand by read master? A read master stands for Relative Identifier Master. It is used to assign unique IDs to the object created in Active Directory. Thanks for watching.